Welcome, you beautiful lads. I am your host, Zap, and in this video, I'm going to recommend you some really dope games to play as a couple or with your family members. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Oh, what we talking about today?
It's Stardew Valley.
Oh, okay.
We just knew that we had to recommend this game first.
Of course, I absolutely had to, honestly, because it is the first game that we ever played as a couple.
True, I forgot.
Yeah, back when we were still in a long distance relationship, we would have our little gamer dates. And first game that we ever played together was Stardew Valley.
Which actually was quite shocking because we didn't know how much we loved Stardew Valley. At least on my end, I didn't know how much you played Stardew Valley.
Yeah, it's not a game that I'm typically into. I don't play a lot of like farming sims or like Animal Crossing type games, but I saw this being played on a channel one day and I decided to give it a try. And I absolutely fell in love with it, and I think it's an amazing game.
Yeah. I honestly love this game so much that I ended up double dipping, like I love to say, because I own a digital version, but then I ended up ordering a physical copy of the game because the really dope thing about them is that it includes a manual.
Oh, that takes me back.
Yeah, you know, not many games nowadays bring manuals.
Not
so
any
when
games do that these days.
I know, right? It's really rare the ones they do.
I was just mentioning how good I think the cover art is on this as well.
Yeah, they even have a map of Stardew Valley, which you guys see in the B-roll, obviously. But I just really like to sit down and just go through it because the way they broke down the basic tutorial for how to play the game and then the art style they chose to go with it is just really cute and nice. So let's start off with what we like the most, because obviously we have different tastes, and even like when we play Stardew Valley, we have different takes of how we tackle the game.
Oh yeah, it's very true.
So why don't we start there? Because the exciting part and why we're talking about this is because there's going to be an update that is already dropping, 1.6. So for those that are Stardew Valley fans, you guys are obviously excited about this new big update for Stardew Valley. But for those that are not familiar with Stardew Valley, how can we break it down and explain it to them?
Ooh, this is a very interesting one because Stardew Valley incorporates so many different styles of gameplay.
Yeah.
Like there's some RPG elements in there. There's of course the farming sim. There's like exploration and action gameplay and puzzle solving, and this game has a little bit of everything, and I think that's why I'm so drawn to it, because it has so many elements from games that I like.
Yeah.
Like when you go into the caves and you take out your sword and you start swinging, it reminds me of a 2D Zelda game where you just kind of go in and you swing your sword. So it's really fun in that aspect. And then there's of course the money management, how you use your money to buy more products, to make more money, to make more products. And just it has like base building basically.
True.
Because you can build up your farm and you can build your home and you could put different buildings, and all these things give you more resources to do other things. So it's just, this game incorporates so many elements of other games that it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it encompasses the best out of each genre. So for a lot of people that are seeing it on the outside, they would probably assume that it's just, your basic like farming simulation game. But once you dive into Stardew Valley and you see how unique it is and what it has to offer, you realize that it's so much more than just a farming simulator. I know we were discussing this. I actually watched an interview not too long ago from the developer itself, and how a lot of the inspiration, which I didn't know, and I just found it interesting because you actually shared this detail with me. He got it from the original game for Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon?
Yeah, he was a big fan of Harvest Moon, and that's where he got the basic idea for the game, and he just took that Harvest Moon template and kind of just expanded it to do other things.
So if you're a Harvest Moon fan, then this pretty much is like your foundation, like you explained. but he added a couple more layers, a little bit of flavor to it. And I'm glad you brought up the aspect of all the stuff you can do in the game, because for example, when we play, right, I'm the more actiony type. I can't really just stay in the farm and, you know, tend to the animals and to the crops. So I'll probably be down in the mines, slashing, mining, collecting ores, you name it. I'm ready for action. So the majority of the day I'm probably doing that.
That sounds about right.
You, on the other hand,
Me, I'm more into the base building aspects. Like I love
Gotcha.
building up the farm and getting all the buildings and all the different animal types and being able to make the most money possible and make your farm run as efficiently as possible. That's really a big thing to me. Another big difference in our gameplay styles is you're typically the more social one.
oh yeah, which we'll leave that for another story. But ironically, in real life, I'm not. But but yeah, in the video game, it is true. I'm more concerned of, because that's another cool aspect about Stardew Valley, that you have so many villagers and residents who you can build a friendship with. You can even marry them. You can divorce them too, guys. There's even that option in the game.
Yeah.
And you can have kids or adopt kids depending the gender you select and who you're going to marry, which I love, you know, the options and the freedom of different lifestyles. And you're gonna see a lot of drama.
Yeah, it's very true.
There is so much drama in Stardew Valley. It's not your typical, oh, it's a nice day, it's sunny.
Yeah, and that's really another cool aspect about Stardew Valley in general is its story. Like it tells every character gets their own individual story. So it's like playing several different story modes at once, because each character has their own path and their own story mode that can sometimes split into different paths depending on the choices that you make.
Yeah.
So it can really get very interesting, like following these characters' lives and seeing how they live their day-to-day lives. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It is. And another great aspect to the game is simply how expansive it really is. Because you start off with the farm and you start off with the basic area around the town, but then eventually you unlock other areas like the cave, or you unlock a whole island, or you unlock the desert, or you unlock the mountains, and the game actually tends to just grow out, and there's more and more to find and discover.
Especially the end game. Like when you think you're getting closer to, because generally, you know, for some games, when you're getting closer towards the end, it kind of starts lacking in objectives to complete, fulfill, things to do, and you pretty much like hit a point where you're like, okay, I'm done. I did everything I can do in this game. But with Stardew Valley, it's quite the opposite. Like they give you so much to do even in the end game that even when you're done, you just want to continue, because there's so much other stuff you can do and so many ways you can tackle the game. Which, for example, I'll give them a perfect basics, which this is not going to spoil anything for them.
Okay.
But like at the beginning, year one, when you're building your farm, you can choose as simple as, are you going to follow the is it Jojo or Joja?
Joja.
The Joja path, or if you're going to complete the community center that is part of the village, the town. So depending which path you choose is going to affect the way you're going to play this game. So there's a lot of replayability.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I was literally just thinking about that as my next statement. But yeah, this game has a lot of replay value, because like I said, there's a lot of different paths you can take. You can do the Joja route, or you can do the community center route, or you can kind of do your own thing, or you can marry this character or not marry this character. And another amazing thing about this game is, like, of course, the multiplayer aspect.
Yes.
You can have up to 4 players.
Yeah.
But
and on PC is even more, but we're talking about the console version.
Yeah, on console version, we mostly play on Switch.
Yeah.
Even though actually, I did double dip, because I do own the PC version on Steam.
Really?
Yeah, I totally forgot about it, but I actually do own the game on Steam as well. But it's really the multiplayer aspect of the game is really cool, because you get to work together, and okay, you do this while you get to come together and make a plan. All right, today this is what we're gonna do, and you do this and I do that. I'll take care of this and you take care of that. And it helps like build. It's like a team building exercise in a way.
Yeah.
Because like you get to work together and figure out to best manage your time, because it is a time management game as well, and try to get as much done in a day as possible. And it's really fun to work together. And I must admit that the online functionality of the game works pretty fantastically.
Yeah, you can play online. So if you don't have, let's say you just live solo and you have friends online, so you have an online option, but you also have your local multiplayer option as well. And that's pretty much how we've played, where each character gets their own cabin. They can settle in whichever part of the farm they see fit, and pretty much they can take their own path as well, because they also have the option to upgrade their cabin. They have the option to marry someone, and the really cool thing is they have the option to marry another player.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, because a lot of games would have overlooked something like that, but they do give you an option to marry other player characters, and you can have children together and all this stuff. So it's really cool. Like, even the whole marriage thing is a side quest of its own. Like,
That's
you gotta
so
get
cool.
the ring, you gotta get the recipe for the ring, then you gotta get the materials to make the ring, and then you gotta give it to the person, and then you have the whole wedding thing, and then to unlock to have kids together. It's like everything becomes a side quest in this game, and I really like that feature, that everything is like a process.
And even the marriage part we discovered is different depending if you're going to marry a player to if you're going to marry, you know, an NPC.
Yeah. And they're literally two separate quests that you can do. And I love the fact that this game gives you that. Like, there's a lot of side questing in this game. Rather, other villagers will give you random requests for items like, hey, I need this, can you get it for me? And you can get extra money or build a friendship with them. And you meet all these other characters that are like kind of outside of the world. And like, this game is chock full of personality, characters. You could tell a lot of love and attention was put into it.
Yeah, and with each and every update, he adds so much more content to the game. So you're always excited of what's next, because this game already is like 8-9 years old.
Yeah.
And it still sells. It has a robust community that is ongoing and just growing and growing. And it's like when you think there's nothing else to offer, he just all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and we be like, now I'm going to drop a 1.6 update.
Yeah, and it's absolutely amazing how much this game has grown. And actually, when I was looking at the Nintendo eShop, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's still one of the top selling games on Nintendoswitch. Right?
It's number one.
Yeah.
As best selling digital games.
Yeah.
Till this day. It's
so
crazy.
That lets you know how amazing this game really is. And even after all this time, there's still things that I even, like when we play together, you were doing things that I didn't even know existed in the game.
Yeah.
I was like, what? How did you do that? Like, where did that come from? Like, there were a whole side quest of missions that I didn't even know existed. And then the Ginger Island stuff, I did Ginger Island, but I never got to the very end when you unlock the volcano and the forge.
The forge. And
I didn't know that was a thing. And
I love that you brought up the forge, because another thing about Stardew Valley is that it shares like light RPG elements. Because, you know, when I explained about the mining and you having to fight and slash your enemies and, you know, eliminate obstacles to progress in the story, with that comes, you know, your stats, your weapons, your buffs. Like, there's so many things that come into play. If you're gonna speed run some, which we did, oh my god, that was so fun. We're gonna share that in a minute, but yeah, like the importance of selecting the right outfit, you know, the right gear, the right weapons, to the food, the combination with beverages, and I can just go on, is really, really important in order to succeed in certain areas of the game.
Oh, 100%. And as someone who is an RPG expert,
Yeah.
okay, I'll say that. It has an amazing combat system. For as simple as it is, it's actually very complex. Because you think it's just an action base, you just go in there and swing and you hit stuff, but the weapon that you use matters because they have different weapon types. You know, you got your standard sword, which, you know, standard speed, standard damage, but then you have daggers, which are faster but do less damage. But then you have hammers that are slower but do more damage. Then you have ranged weapons like slingshots and bows, and like it has so many different type of ways to address combat. And then your stats are affected by, you know, what foods you eat or what things you drink, and they have accessories where you can wear certain rings to give you certain effects. And they really took a simple battle system and like really made it something more complex that if you really want to master it, you gotta use all these different things to your advantage.
Yeah, like for example, the Skull Cavern is one of the hardest caverns to beat. And that's why I brought up the aspect of speed running, because you literally have to speed run through this cavern. There's over 100 levels.
Yeah.
It doesn't auto save, you know. You have to try to make it within 1 day. Yep. And there's a lot of preparation that goes behind
I was just about to talk about that.
Completing the Skull Cavern, which I'll let you continue, but it's a really interesting area.
Yeah, like I said, based on the RPG system, there's a lot of prep work you can do, like making sure you have enough food when you go down there, because you know your stamina and your energy matter, and you can actually level up your energy bar. You can level up your health by finding certain items in the game, and you can use certain items to the game to help you advance through the, like if you have a higher luck stat, you have a better chance of getting to the lower floors, or making sure you have the best weapons and the best, you know, pickaxes so you can mine faster and move quicker, and you can take certain potions to get your speed up so you actually have greater movement speed. And it's so much that you have to take into account to really like maximize your day, because you only have 1 day to do it.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that it's like a challenge run kind of thing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And even the items that you purchase to have in your household will also come into play, because there's even like a luck system involved to determine like how good or how bad your day is going to be in order to fulfill certain tasks or achieve, you know, certain milestones in the game. So even this luck system comes into play in how you're going to tackle certain things. So yeah.
It's absolutely amazing how, for a game that looks so simple, it is like probably one of the most complex games I've ever played, because you got to think about that whole combat system we're just talking about is only one aspect of the game.
Yeah.
Because then you have the community aspect where you're making friends with all the people and watching all their stories and doing all their quests, and then you have all the like the special areas that you can explore and do all cool stuff with that, and then you have the collection aspect where you're trying to complete the community center and get all the items, and then you have the museum where you're trying to get all these rare items that you can, you know, post in the museum to get more items. And then you have your whole money making thing where you're growing your crops to earn money, or you're creating this thing to make this thing. Like, all right, I got the milk now, and now I got this other thing that I can put the milk into to make cheese. Then I can take the cheese and put it in this thing to make it age. So now I got aged cheese. Like,
you can make wine.
Yeah, you can make wine, you can make beer, you can make jellies, you can have a kitchen and cook your own food, and like it's so much crammed into this little game that it's like it's absolutely phenomenal.
I really feel like it has something for everyone. So even if you're not used to playing these type of games, if you were to sit down and play, I'm 100% sure you'll find something inside the game that you'll be like, okay, I can actually do this, because it's pretty fun. If you just want to fish,
I'm about to say we didn't even bring up fishing.
you can fish, and fishing is quite difficult in this game too. It's not as easy. They even have like legendary fishes, legendary fish that you can just, there's a certain season, there's a certain time that you have to go to a certain place to specifically capture and catch these legendary fish, and they are hard.
Yeah. And once again, that ties into the RPG system, because you have a fishing stat. And you also have different poles that have different stats, and you can put stuff on your fishing pole to increase the stats and make it do special things, and you can put certain baits on it to make it more likely to catch fish. Like it the cool thing about, I think the coolest aspect of this game is that how all its systems tie into each other, because then you catch the fish and then you can take those fish home. You can either make food out of them, or you can sell them, or you can give them to a townsperson who likes that certain kind of fish to increase your friendship. Like all these systems work together to make a perfect harmony.
Yeah, there's even events that you can celebrate within the community.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, there's so much, to the point that I actually once again listened to a recent interview, and the developer himself mentioned the fact that he knows that even after 8 years, there's still people who have not discovered all the mysteries and all the secrets that are still in this game.
The game has grown to a point where now they even have a symphony.
Yes, that we're gonna go watch.
That we're gonna go see, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to see it.
So now the ultimate question is, what are some of your hopes and expectations for the update 1.6 that is releasing this month?
I'm honestly, I don't even have any expectations. Just the fact that we're getting new stuff in the game is amazing to me. There's going to be new events and new items and new conversations, and there's so much jam packed into this update that we haven't even seen yet or even heard little glimpses of. And I'm just excited to get new content into the game. Oh, he's also adding a new farm type. So that's going to be interesting to play a new farm type. Once again, adding to the replayability of this game, because there's several different types of farms you can use, and I don't even think I've tried them all yet.
Yeah.
But he's adding a new one, and there's going to be new gear and new all of this. I'm just happy to get new stuff in a game that's been going on this long.
Yeah, I'm really excited for 1.6, and even though we have several files because we've played this in multiple occasions, I know that for 1.6 we're just going to start from the beginning.
Oh yeah. Just
to be able to enjoy fully the 1.6 update, which leads to a very important announcement, very special and important announcement. If you watched my video at the very beginning of the year, I gave you guys an update of what to expect content-wise for the channel. And now it's official. I'm glad to announce that we're going to bring back our live streams.
Yeah.
And we're going to start a new series, which is our couples date night.
Oh,
yeah. So if you want to watch with your significant other, or it doesn't even have to be with a a partner. It could be, with your daughter, your children, your family, whatever it is. It could be solo if you just want to watch us in our shenanigans, because believe me, you never know what's going to happen during these live streams.
Oh.
And so I want to remind you guys to stay positive with each other, stay rad, and of course,
game on.
Game on. Bye.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to say, and reset and zap
for the week.
I really thought you was about to say that.
That's another segment.
It sounded like what you was setting up. I was like, babe, please don't. Oh no, she got it right. Okay. I really thought you was about to do it.